Who among us does not know the McDonald's fast food chain of restaurants, which has become one of the most famous and important international companies in the field of food manufacturing, which has become a distinctive brand, competing with the major brands that it has struck, and behind this success and reaching the top, a man who sought and struggled for years until the name of his company reaches the top. This man is Ray Crook and is the founder of the famous McDonald's restaurant chain. Let's get to know his success story and his struggle to reach to the world that has become a legend to be followed in success stories. Raymond Albert Ray Kroc was born in 1902 and died in 1984, an American national of Czech origin in Oak Park, which is close to Chicago. He spent his childhood and most of his life in the village of Oak Park in Illinois. At the outbreak of World War I, he falsified his date of birth to join the Red Cross and work as a driver for the war ambulance. When he was at the age of 15, after the end of the war, he worked in many fields, where he worked as a seller of paper cups, pianist, and jazz musician, and was a member of one of the bands, then worked as a DJ in radio, and also worked in one of the restaurants of the Ray Damage chain in the Northeast Central region, and met one day a self-made man named Earl Prince, who owns a machine for mixing and pouring drinks that he invented and sells milkshakes in the United States. So Crook persuaded him to use his machine to roam it and sell the milkshake himself, so he roams the cities and states of America to sell milkshakes. After a while, his sales of milkshakes began to decline continuously, but he noticed that he had his two largest customers in buying shamrubs, the brothers Dick Rickrich and Mac Morris McDonald, who asked him to buy more than 8 drinks casting machines at once to use them in their restaurants in California, which made him go directly to meet them in 1954. When entering the restaurant, Crook noticed that the restaurant-based system is not traditional. The McDonald brothers rely on self-service customers, and there are no tables or places to sit, and the brothers were focused on cooking and processing sandwiches, potato slices and drinks on paper plates and quickly, and they quoted this idea from the founder of Ford Car Manufacturing, Mr. Henry Ford, and Ray Crook was impressed by the efficiency of the two brothers and their success in managing the restaurant and providing services with good quality and fast services, and at the same time, and this style of work was not popular in those days. And because he is an ambitious man who always seeks what is best for him and to develop himself, he offered the McDonald brothers the idea of expanding the activity of the chain of restaurants that they own to cover the United States and the entire world. So they asked him, who is this person who will be able to manage the chain and expand it in such a big way, and he replied that he is the one who will do it. So his participation was approved to expand the chain, and his beginning was when he sent to Walt Disney, the founder of Disneyland, a message stating his desire to establish a restaurant McDonald's in his city, which was at the beginning of its inception at the time. But the latter did not respond to his message, but he did not despair, although he felt bitter, because Disney did not respond to his message, but he continued to address other partners. In 1955, Crook established his company, McDonald's Systems Company, which turned into an entire institution after 5 years of its establishment, and then obtained the right of franchise, is a commercial contract between two parties that gives the first party the right to acquire the second party in exchange for a percentage of sales, and this contract results in the work of licenses and commercial agencies for the distribution of goods produced by the company. Hence, McDonald's opened its first restaurant in Des Plaines, Chicago in 1955 and continued its expansion and establishment of branches across the states until it had more than 200 restaurants in 1960. But Ray did not get a lot of profits because he was contracted with the Fortunes. So he got 1.9% of the total sales, and half of this percentage went to the McDonald's brothers in the first year, which made him think well how to make more profits to cover his expenses. So he met Harry Sonnenborn, a man in the field of finance and business, and explained to him how to make profits. So he advised him to enter into another field besides selling burgers. FAS is a real estate company for sale and rental land. So he rented the land to those who wanted to obtain the franchise right from the McDonald's restaurant chain. So the tenants either paid the rent or the 1.9% of the total sales. After that, the three partners, the McDonald brothers and Ray Crook, disagreed because Crook wanted to change some things that the brothers rejected in return, which made him buy the McDonald brothers' full share for $2.7 million, and indeed he had that in 1961, and he became the only disposer in management and the whole activity. But at first the two brothers did not agree to sell the main branch of the restaurant, which fell under the name The Big M. but the intensity of insistence Crook, by owning all the branches, headed by the main branch, established a restaurant, competing with the restaurant of the two brothers, so they succeeded in the competition, forcing them to sell the restaurant. Ray Crook developed an innovative plan in restaurant management, so he used to put the necessary weight for each slice of burger and the size of each slice of potatoes, and he put the appropriate amount of ketchup, mustard and onion slices that must be provided to customers, and he also supervised how to clean the restaurant, and this is the secret of his success in managing McDonald's restaurants, where he was thinking about all the subtleties to reach the top in the world, and this qualified him to establish a training center on the way to manage restaurants. McDonald's, after the success of the center, became named Hamburger University, which gives a degree in hamburger science and French fries. McDonald's restaurants expanded in 1963, where there were more than 500 restaurants in which more than 1 billion sandwiches were served, so the well-known clown Ronald McDonald began to appear, whose statue we find in all McDonald's restaurant stores, where he was promoting the series in an overwhelming marketing campaign. So he appeared for the first time on television in 1965 and became very famous within 6 years. 1965. It was the first company in the field of fast food to offer its shares in the United States, which made him get great liquidity that helped him more to continue to expand and spread significantly. The share price that he first offered was $22, and after a few weeks his price reached $49. In 1972, Crook began expanding beyond the United States, beginning in England and then in other countries. In 1968, Ray Crook assigned his daily duties in restaurant management to Fred Turner, and he became a follower of the work from afar, continuing to search for greater investment opportunities and more expansion, and devoting himself to traveling abroad to follow his own stores around the world to make sure that the work was going well. In 1974, Ray Crook retired from corporate management, but continued on the board until he died in 1984 of heart failure at the age of 81. Please support us by pressing the like button and follow us to receive everything new. Wait for the next video.